Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. Today is Thursday, September 16th, episode 33 of the podcast. Already, a lot to talk about today. The Met Gala, the Hawkeye trailer, Battlefield 2042 delayed, NFL breakdown of the best games. It was a good week, people. Good week one of football, I'll tell you that. But I got a lot on my chest, a lot on the plate for this episode. Again, being brought to you by me, yours truly. Zippity-doo, zippity-day. What did the cats say all day? Meow. I mean, it was better in my head. It was zippity-doo, zippity-day. The cat says meow all day. I fucked that up again. I keep fucking that up. That joke is in my head. I don't know why. I just thought about it like right now. Zippity-doo, zippity-day. The cat says meow all day. There it is. That's it. I got it fucked in my head, like within the first minute of this podcast. Insane. That's kind of where my brain is at right now. Thinking about what can I wear tomorrow, the next day? Am I going to dress up as a Dementor? Or as Russell Wilson? Or in a see-through outfit? That's kind of like how I'm segueing into this bull crap of an event that had happened a couple days ago called the Met Gala. I've heard of it before, but I don't know what it is. So I used the trusty tool Google and Googled it. And what popped up was the Met Gala, formerly called the Costume Institute Gala of the or the Costume Institute Benefit, and also known as the Met Gala. There's a lot of as known as or also known as in that statement. Also known as blank. A lot of that. I don't know why that is. But it's an annual fundraising gala for the benefit of the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute in New York City. It marks the opening of the Costume Institute annual fashion exhibit. Now, you throw in costume, and it kind of makes more sense. I mean, you want to have a good dress, right? If you're a lady coming in, wanting to wow the crowd with a dress, good dress. I believe it was Russell Wilson's wife, Sierra, dressed up as him, had pads, like she was a football player. The Seahawks, the number 3 jersey, and like that neon green of Seattle. It was creative, clever. It was cool. You got the tax the rich costume. I mean, if you think that she didn't know what she was gonna do about when that happened, you're fooling yourself, because she absolutely knew what was happening. Going for outrage at the Met Gala, where a lot of famous people go to, and you wear a dress called that has tax the rich, and it's going for outrage, and it's genius because it works. It absolutely works. Now, did she pay? I don't think she paid. Talking about AOC going to the Met Gala, I have no idea. Probably not. Probably invited, because I also saw the mayor of New York there too, Bill de Blasio. So I would guess that they might have been invited. Most people get invited. Like, who even pays to go to that? Right? Like these celebrities that go there, who actually pays? Does anybody pay? I don't even know. Like Justin Bieber, Haley Baldwin, Kendall Jenner, who else went there? Camila Cabello, her boyfriend, Shawn Mendes. Do you think that they actually would pay that much money to go to that thing? I doubt it. But if you're invited, why not, right? If I was invited to the Met Gala, people would ask me, what would I wear? Well, if it is a costume party, might maybe dress up as, Master Chief. I would actually put into, a lot of effort to maybe make a Geralt of Rivia costume, maybe. I mean, I am fat, so I probably couldn't pull it off like all that well. But I would dress up as that. Because a lot of the guys don't even dress up, really. I mean, it says on Google, Costume Institute. So I'm like thinking, like, this isn't really a costume unless you're cosplaying as James Bond or a Men in Black character. And then, yeah, I guess you could say that. But, like, I mean, it's usually just dresses and all that. And I guess they had a theme also, like the theme was American. I mean, I guess you can say that. And I'm just Googling the images. You got the late, great Chadwick Boseman as dressed up as like kind of like a pastor almost. He's got crosses on his gown or coat. But a lot of this chick in 2019, I can't see her face because she's turned to the camera, has like a dress that has like wings. That's pretty cool. I like that. But yeah, if I went there on Master Chief or Geralt of Rivia, I mean, like, what else could I be? And we got Kim Kardashian and whoever is next to her dressed up as a Dementor. I'm like, bro, I mean, that's pretty cool cosplay for a Dementor. It's not bad. It's interesting. It's unique. I was like, wait, who is that? I did question who that was. I was like, wait a minute. And people were tweeting like, it's Kim Kardashian. Like, well, it could be, but is it though? I mean, do we know that that's her? I'm not sure. I mean, it could be. But what if it wasn't though? What if it wasn't Kim K, but everybody said it was Kim K? What if it was like, a body double? Like, she's got to have at least a body double, right? She's that rich for doing, I don't even know what she does. I guess she's still on a show, I guess, but I thought that was ending soon. And, with somebody that is, I'm going to bet not Kanye. Because they are divorced, right? Or they split up at least. That cannot be Kanye. That can't be. Well, it probably isn't even Kim. I mean, I haven't seen any photos afterward. Or prior, so I don't know. It could be. But to the moron as myself who looks at this, is like, who is that? Are we sure that's Kimberly Kardashian? Not sure. But I'm looking at my closet now. Or not my closet, my rack of clothes in the studio. Now, if I picked one of these shirts, I got a polo, I got a flannel collared shirt, a plain blue collared shirt, or a Dodgers jersey. And if I was to mix that with like a khaki pants or business casual pants, or I also have a beanie. I could probably pull that off, actually. I've seen crazier fashion statements than that. A Dodgers jersey, khaki pants, a beanie, maybe a raincoat. That could be pretty cool, too. I mean, that could be considered fashion, right? Because fashion has a very broad term, broad meaning. I don't even know what's in fashion nowadays. Like, I don't even know what is considered to be good fashion. I'm not into that. I never really was. I would go to school back in the day not matching and be like, my mom would stop me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to school. What do you mean? What am I doing? You're not even matching. What do you mean by that? I'm like, she's like, your clothes don't match. Well, what is it? What does even that mean? And she'd be like, that shirt and those shorts, they don't go, Alex. They don't go. So I'm like, well, what does go? She's like, this one and this one. Those go. Put those on. And I'd be like, well, why don't these work? They just don't, Alex. So it really is depending on who styles you, I guess. Because I feel like if I were to be styled by a professional, right? Like somebody who's paid to style people to, I would presumably think, match. And say, like, this is going to work. This goes with this. This is going to be good. I would have full confidence that they'd be right, because I clearly today, to this day, don't really know what matches all that well. And I've never really been that type of person to match clothing. I mean, I kind of do now. I kind of have like this rubric of what I wear now. Usually like a dark t-shirt with lighter, like not like khaki, but tan shorts, maybe darker shorts with the lighter shirt, and then dark shoes. I don't have a lot of, I don't have many shoes in my life. I find it weird to have multiple pairs of shoes. Like 2 is fine, I think. You can have 2 pairs of shoes. You got 3, all right, like you're getting a little luxurious here. 4, 5, I don't know about that, bud. That might be a little bit much, at least for me. I don't got that much space to just put shoes, and you don't want to put them in the boxes too, because the box is just bulky. It's big sometimes, takes up a lot of space. Like they gotta make, back in the day, or back, you watch a movie, or maybe you had one of these growing up. You had like a shoe holster that went on your door. I never had that ever. I had a nice shelf for shoes in my closet, but like I never had the door holster for shoes. I feel like that would be so much better, because for one, it wouldn't be on the floor. It'd be hanging on the door, so you don't have to technically put the dirty shoes on the floor, and you could have more floor space, not even by a shelf. I would assume that the holster wouldn't be that expensive. Usually that the ones that I saw were plastic. So, I mean, sure, a shelf is nice. It looks nice. It's sturdier. It's got a good look to it, but it also takes up a lot of space. I'm a very space cautious man. I don't like a lot of, furniture. A lot of excess stuff. Excess chairs, tables, lamps, couches. I'm very much a minimalist when it comes to furniture and all that. Like, I don't need a lot to, be happy. If I could, if I went on a trip across country, right, I had to take an airplane. If we didn't have to have duffel bags, or we didn't have any duffel bags, I would take a garbage bag. One, it'd be much easier to carry around. You don't gotta really take care of it too much, because it's a trash bag. You just stuff all your clothes in, some shoes, your other items that you need for a trip, put it in security. They could easily check it without having, any secret compartments. I mean, what else could be in there? It's a damn trash bag. I mean, not going to hold anything other than trash in my clothes. I mean, you can also say, like, my clothes itself is kind of trash because I have no goddamn fashion sense, but whatever. That's fine. I kind of think that way too, though. I have shitty fashion style. I don't know why. I prefer comfort to looking good, if that makes sense. If I feel comfortable, then in my eyes, I look good. I look presentable, at least. If I feel comfortable, or uncomfortable, sorry, then I feel like I'm presenting a stressed version of myself. Not as confident, not as projecting, not as likable. I don't know what it is, but it's not with all nice clothes. But if I'm in like a suit, or like slacks, really, or tight business pants, or actually no, dress shoes make me very, very uncomfortable. They are so uncomfortable. You can't wear them for more than like 8 hours a day, or you're gonna get blisters, right? Unless you already like developed calluses and you're like, oh, this is fine. That's all good, right? But yeah, Met Gala, cool. I didn't know what it meant till right now when I read off the definition. Butchered it, also, by the way. It's also just like rich people looking good and looking nice and taking nice pictures and wearing nice clothes. And it's not like it's not like I hate all the celebrities. There's some actors, athletes, other people, artists that I very much respect and all that, but it's like I don't gotta see, or I don't want to see, so I don't watch the Met Gala for that. I also don't watch like red carpets for, like, Oscars, Emmys, all that I like your movies. I like you in the movie. If I see you in an interview, like on a podcast or a show or, news or whatever, I listen to that, but I'm like, I'm not going to just watch you take photos looking good with your significant other and, milk it up and smile and shit. I don't need to or want to watch that. No disrespect to you, not my thing. Not my cup of tea. I preferred just watching the movie or TV show or interview. Like I said, I want that. I'll listen to if you do win your speech at the end, if you win an award. Yeah, of course I'll watch that or listen to that or whatever, or look it up even. But the carpet thing, the posing, and the all that is just is not for me. Some people, again, some people do love fashion and they're obsessed with celebrities. Maybe not obsessed, but they enjoy celebrities. They like celebrities. Maybe they know the person, And then they sit there and they devour it, and that's completely fine. Nothing wrong with that. I would do that with the ESPYs, actually, or the NFL honors, because I enjoy football or sports, other sports that have like athletes and, people there that I admire and that I enjoy. So yeah, I mean, the Dodgers do like this whole ping pong thing, or they do something at the stadium that has a red carpet, and I kind of tune into that, but not like I'm not glued to the TV about it, or the screen or whatever. I enjoy it because that is my team. I support them. I'm a big fan of them, so I'm like, I'm gonna watch that. I'll watch people that I enjoy, and I think everybody else will. If you're a fan of Lil Wayne, like me, you're gonna watch him. If you're a fan of, I don't know, Drake, you're gonna watch him. It's just, it all boils down to who you're into, who you're interested in, and that's really all it is. So, by the way, I still don't know what they actually do in the Met Gala, inside of it, the museum, the costume museum. Do they just take photos, take selfies? Like, what do they do? Remember when the selfie was first a thing, really? I'm talking about, like, not mirror photo, not you pointing your camera at the mirror and taking a snapshot. You doing a peace sign or the classic middle finger to the camera. I always hated that. The middle finger to the camera is absolutely obscene. It's an obscenity. It's a profanity that we should never have done. I've never done it in my life because I always thought it was just disrespectful for people viewing that photo. Like, yeah, fuck you, like that. It's like, oh, what? That's not nice. That's actually very rude. It's extremely rude. I mean, you wouldn't go to somebody's face and just give them the bird like that. No, you wouldn't. It's very disrespectful. But anyway, back to what they do in the Met Gala. I mean, there was emerging photos, right, of Kourtney Kardashian and her boyfriend, Travis Barker, and then their buddies, their double-date buddies. Machine Gun Kelly, who I don't even know who he is, really. He's an artiste. And then Megan Fox, which was astonishing because she looked incredible. But that was the first time I've heard of Megan Fox since Transformers 2. I mean, where has she been? I don't even know. And I was like, holy shit, that's Megan Fox. And she's been, like I said, she's been gone. She's been out of my life since she got cut from Transformers 3. I was just astonished. I was like, wait a minute. Where's she been? She looks great. She's got to be like, 30 maybe? Because Transformers 3, as I want to believe back in 2012. Around that time, maybe 2013. Because I know the first one was in 2007. And I was just a wee kid when I saw that. I was like 14. Wee kid. Wee lad. But still, it was cool to see that Megan Fox is back. I don't even know if she's acting. She might be. She is, like I said, beautiful. She can do whatever she wants, essentially. She got a nice, a cool boyfriend, I guess. He seems to be popular with the kids today. So, yeah, that was that. That's the Met Gala. Fashion, selfies, the evolution of that. The iPhone 4. The first iPhone. maybe the first phone in general, I could be wrong, to put a front-facing camera in it. And did that. Now we can be spied on. I don't know if that's true or not, but a lot of people believe that. Government is spying on you. So, like they're sending out a secret agent to secret, service people are watching your phone like that. Speaking of secret agent, we're moving on to the Hawkeye trailer. Marvel's new show coming out in November this year on Disney Plus, exclusively streaming. Now, you already know me. Where I stand on Marvel, where I've been on Marvel TV shows this past year. Enjoyed WandaVision. Enjoyed Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Did not see Loki. Fuck Loki, my opinion. And now this one. Oh, and then the What If animated show, which I have not watched. Probably won't either. Probably won't. I don't see myself watching that. And I don't think that I would enjoy it, to be honest with you. It looks cool. Looks very stylized. I enjoy the animation. Looks very cool. But it's not something for me. Not saying I'm gonna watch it and turn my back on or be for it. I could. I just don't want to see it right now. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. And you're saying, like, Alex, you watch Clone Wars. You watch Rebels. You watch this. You watch that. Why don't you want to watch the Marvel's What If? Like, I just don't really care about Marvel right now. Especially the what ifs. Like, what if this? What if that? I don't give a shit. Not to seem like like I want it to not be a thing. No, people enjoy it. Other people enjoy it. It's like the new Star Wars Visions, the anime stuff that's coming out. I don't care about anime, and I'm not going to watch it, even though that it is Star Wars. It's just not for me. It isn't. And you don't got to, not die, but you don't got to, not push, but you don't got to try to make somebody watch it because it is this. It's like, I've seen the trailers. I've seen what it looks like. I've seen how it's going to be, not how it's going to go, but like I've seen like what their mission is with it. I'm just not into it. I'm not an anime person. Never really have been. And I've tried watching back in the day an episode of Attack on Titan with a couple of friends of mine, and I hated it. Hated it. It was terrible. I didn't like it at all. Not just the story, but like, I'm not a fan of the animation per se, the drawing, and then the over-exaggeration of close-ups and weird drawings and like weird shit in it. It's just not my style. But that is just me. There's a lot of people out there in not only in the country but in the whole world that love anime. And kudos to you. Keep watching it. I mean, you make the money. You love it. I don't need to watch it. It's not for me. I gotta tell people to watch Clone Wars. They don't watch it. It's like, okay, it's not for you, I guess. That's fine. Anyway, okay, back. I got off track there. Sorry. Back to Hawkeye. Now, this is going to be starring, why I said a secret agent-wise. It's kind of like Hawkeye in the Avengers was always like a secret agent to me. He tried to be Bourne in the Bourne Legacy. I've never seen it, but I heard it was not great. Why they brought in Matt Damon to do Jason Bourne, which also wasn't that great. So, take that for what it is. I did not make those decisions. Those are executives, So, he always seemed like a secret agent. He's not a hero. He's like on the same path as Black Widow, that they're very intelligent. They're very gadget-based. They're, stealthy, secret operatives, and they're, likable. And they got a good, they have a fun family, fun past, fun character, and that's where we're kind of going with this show. It feels like it's going to be, and by the way, the trailer is out. That's what I'm talking about right now. I thought that the trailer was okay, but I need more. It was a very, very teasy, very fast-cutting. It's got a Christmas theme because of the holiday release. I think it's going to be released like maybe a couple days before Thanksgiving. And it's got, it's got a good vibe to that. It's got you in the feels of the holidays. It's going to be a cool buddy spy thriller, I guess you would say. Not buddy cop, really, but buddy spy, because Haley Steinfeld is, in the trailer, going to be teaming up with a Hawkeye, Cliff Barton, I believe, who I was bamboozled, by the way, because I thought that his sidekick, Kate Bishop, I believe is her name. I thought that she was his daughter for some reason. I don't know. I got that confused. But I guess not. So she's going to be teaming up with him. They're going to be shooting arrows and shit, swinging from skyscrapers and shooting more arrows and shit, getting a dog and singing Christmas carols and putting up the Christmas tree. It looks very, very family friendly. Looks cool. I'll say that. It looks cool. I know when I tell people that I saw a movie or a show, and when I say it was cool, they think that it's, super negative, like, oh, we didn't like it. No, I thought it was cool. But, like, that's what I'm getting at. The show looks cool. I don't know if it's going to be good, though. It looks cool, though. Like, I would check it out. I think Haley Steinfeld's a great actress. If you haven't seen Bumblebee, you should check it out, because that's, like, one of my favorite performances of her, more recently. I have not seen her other show, Dickinson, so I wouldn't know. But in that movie, Transformers, Bumblebee, great, fantastic. She seems to fit the part of the hero. I've seen side-by-side shots of the character in the comic and her portraying that character. Very accurate, very good, solid. I like it. I enjoy it. I think it's going to be cool. I really do. But I need more. I need to see a little bit more of the plot of what's happening, more interaction with the two, Steinfeld and Renner, some more of that chemistry. Maybe it's going to be more than what I'm seeing on the surface level, I would assume, but as of now, I'm like a little cool, but meh on it. I'm meh. Again, it is Marvel. It's going to be cool. It's going to have action. It's going to have comedy. It's going to have good characters, hopefully. Pretty good writing, even though that I think it's a lot of parts in WandaVision and the Captain and the Winter Soldier, the writing did fall apart a bit, but that's just my opinion. I think it's going to be cool, though. It's going to be a cool show. I do want to check it out. Hopefully I could stick around to watch the entire thing and not fall off. But, that's, again, this is just a first trailer, the official first trailer. So they can show a lot more to get us more hyped. It's just, what's going to be in that if they can capture my excitement more and get me to want to watch, more of the show, which I hope they can accomplish. Moving on. Last entertainment thing that we're going to talk about today, this episode this week, is going to be the news that just came out yesterday, on Wednesday, that Battlefield 2042 is being delayed. Now, I, for one, hate when games are delayed. I hate it. I absolutely despise it. But in the past, when they do get delayed, some games come in clutch. Some games take that time, do the thing, get the job done, and ship the game that, isn't going to be perfect, by the way. Let me get that very, very clear. It's not going to be perfect, right? I've realized that these cannot be shipped perfect. There's going to be a couple glitches, a bug, something that isn't working right away out of the gate. But and that is fine with me. That is fine. A couple things is fine. It's when you run into things like what happened in the Master Chief Collection, when he couldn't get into a game, or Cyberpunk on consoles, which blatantly didn't work, or Call of Duty World War II back in 2017, or whenever it came out, when the lobbies to search for a match were just breaking down when you were looking for them. Like this, I understand that these video games take a long time to develop and to fix and to get people that want to work on them, show their passion, excel in their game, do good work, report back to their higher-ups, executives, whatever that may be, bosses, report back, get a good, nice, report in, and get the game on track so it can ship out, and we as consumers can play it and say to ourselves like, oh yes, this was a good investment. This is what I want to spend my money on. I'm all for that. The news came out yesterday that it was being delayed 1 month. originally going to come out in October, on October 22nd, now coming out on November 19th. Now, reading the statement of what it was, you can find it online, but I'm going to paraphrase a little bit of what it was saying. A lot of the things that they said was like the getting back into studio when it's safe because of the pandemic. Folks, we've been in the pandemic for almost 2 years now. The description of this seems like it's a monumental, that they're behind monumentally. But they're only delaying it a month. Like, it seems when you read this that they haven't been really working in their studios. Whether that be in Sweden or LA, because it's dicey. I don't know. They didn't say really where they were, but they didn't really say that what they were fixing either. But it wasn't. It just seemed a bit of a statement that's like, oh, well, if it's really because of the pandemic reason you've never been working in studios, you must be more behind than just 1 month. It seems to me that this is going to pull another Cyberpunk in some way. Now, I could be completely wrong, which I hope I am, dearly to God. Dearly to God, I hope I'm wrong. But if I'm not, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be another case of the gaming industry playing you again. I don't want this to happen. I really don't. Now I'm very, very nervous about Battlefield 2042. Very nervous. I wasn't before, but now I just don't think that it's going to be enough time, like I said, to make the game even any better. Like 1 month, like what could you possibly do with 1 extra month? I just don't get it. I don't know. From the statement that they put out, citing the pandemic, COVID-19 and all that, not being able to work in safe environments or whatever, that just seems like a bigger problem than what they're making it out to be. I'm very nervous about that. That statement wasn't very good, man. We can all look to the positives of we want a better finished game and delay it, all you want. I do believe that if it does come, October, and it gets delayed again, and that other statement was just a bullshit one, like, oh yeah, we need another month to get it ready and to make it the best Battlefield we've ever had. It's like, how can we trust you then? If it gets delayed again. It's like, how can we trust... it's hard to trust these people now. It's really hard. And it's like, they're not making it very, very clear what the problem really is. Like, what in the game is, like, not working? What is... I would like to know that. Because there is leaked gameplay, a lot of it, online. And I'm just like, what really is the problem then? You haven't shown all that much. Is it the entire game? Is it the multiplayer? Is it another mode? Like, what's so wrong with it? I would like to know. Because if it really is only a month and it comes out as trash, then, boy, I don't know. It's like you just have bad communication abilities or bad at communicating. Something's got to change, man. I don't know what, but it's bad. It's very bad, and it happens far too often now. Far too often. Now, with that being said, am I going to get it still? I really want to. I really, really, really want to get this game. Now, it's going to be $70 when it comes out, which, again, if you don't know, is a $10 increase from $60 from what they were about 2 years ago. They're starting to become more and more expensive now. $70 is not that much of an increase, or $10 is not that much of an increase, but like what if it starts to become $80, $90, $100? They're still getting delayed, still pushbacks, still bugs. It's like what are we doing here now, guys? What are we doing? It's even worse now. And I get it. The pandemic was a kick in the teeth for everybody. All production, all companies, all businesses. But don't you expect us to be wanting to buy this game If October comes around, November, and we get another announcement, delayed again. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. It's not going to look good if you keep delaying it. It's going to look... you're going to start to lose trust in your consumers. And it's not good business. Not good business. Got to be good at communicating what's wrong to make your product better. Now, of course, I am not a business major. I'm not an expert in producing a product, but all I can tell you is my first-hand experience of being a person who plays video games, being a person who sees other people play video games, and being around this whole entertainment side of what we do in games and how it's changed. This is not a good look for the future. Hopefully it will change. Now on to news. This is kind of like what I was talking about last week. About playing God, Jurassic Park, Ian Malcolm. And what do you know? This week we get the news. I guess I'm wrong. I guess I'm very, very wrong. Because there's a Kickstarter lab, or Kickstarter company, called Colossal. They want to bring back a woolly mammoth by the year 2027. Or at least to have the calves, the baby elephant, the baby mammoths by 2027. Now, I'm thinking, why would you do this? Is it for fun? Is it for profit? Are you going to commercialize it? Are you going to advertise it? What is this? Are we going to see like back in Jurassic World, Verizon Wireless presents the new and improved woolly mammoth? What's going to happen? But turns out that's not really the case. The case is because they believe that the mammoths unlock this untapped potential to make the super... No, I'm just kidding. They want to put him in the Arctic and Siberia to kind of this way to help with the climate change, I believe. It has to deal with permafrost and methane in the ground from rising so rapidly to make the earth hotter, but that the mammoths trampling and Arctic animals on the surface of the snow and trampling, and it makes it all... I'm doing such a bad job at this, but it's got something to do with helping out in terms of climate change. Now, I'm thinking that's a good reason, I guess. I mean, number one, that would be good for the environment, for the climate. Two, I would love to see a woolly mammoth. Fuck yeah, I would. I mean, where can I go, see one? But I'm wondering, this is just the inner businessman in me, the inner I know everything about business and I want to make money, the greedy side of myself. Why would nobody want to, make them and put them in their zoo as an exclusive? Like the San Diego Zoo, the only place you can see a living woolly mammoth. Only one. We got it. And you got to pay $1,000 an hour to come see it. I mean, that's basically corporate America, man. That could potentially happen. Now, do I think that this will happen? From what I can see, they've already got $15 million started up for it. They said that they're very, very close to it. They're using DNA from an Asian elephant to, genetically make this new version of a mammoth. It's not going to be exactly like the version back in Ice Age 1, 2, 3, and 4, maybe 5. I don't even know. Scrat counts as a spinoff, but it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a newer animal, but still look like, I guess, a woolly mammoth. So I mean, you immediately think of Jurassic Park, right? Jurassic Park this is exactly what they're doing. Now, it sounds like it's for good. Again, with the releasing them in the Siberia, tundra, the Arctic, whatever, permafrost, methane, helping that, climate, whatever. But it's only a matter of time before somebody's like, hey, I want to buy one of those. I want to put that in my zoo, in my sanctuary. I'm going to charge people, again, $1,000 an hour to come see one. That is eventually going to happen, I believe. I believe that will eventually happen. This is going to be for a science experiment where it's going to be like, what if this helps out? What if we bring back a mammoth to get another shot? And in that time, we can hopefully that this will help with the methane and all that, the climate change, whatever they think that it will do work. Now, I think that there's a lot more things that could be done in the terms of climate change. I did not think that resurrecting a woolly mammoth would be one of those options. I did not think of that. But if they see something that I don't know, I mean, cool on you for finding that, and cool on you for working and having that drive. But I'm just an average Joe. I'm not going to go find a journal about climate change and try to do quote unquote my own research. I don't even know how you would even approach that. But kudos on you, bro. Kudos on you. I believe his name is George Church. He's a scientist trying to do this, and I would probably pay to see that woolly mammoth. Probably. I'm not that rich, depending on how much it costs. But I'm just saying, it's gonna be commercialized. It's gonna be like an attraction at every zoo ever made. If they can, keep up the. This is gonna sound bad, but keep up the production of these woolly mammoths, because it's like I've seen how some of the animals are like bred without like not bred, but like how they form an animal without like a mother. I saw like this video of like I believe it was like a cow like in like this plastic bag filled up with like this fluid and whatever. Like it was like pretty much like a see-through womb. It was very bizarre. I was like, I never seen that in my life before. But like, and then over time it'd be like a time lapse, and the cow would get bigger in that womb. Like it was actually like growing like it was in a mother's womb. I was like, that is crazy. I've never seen that in my life, and I was like, oh geez, that is cool, but it's also kind of scary. It's like you're birthing a cow without a mom. Like it was just like, and it was crazy because you saw this big bag, but with a bunch of tubes and nozzles attached to it. I was like, whoa, this is crazy, man. So if they can do that with a mammoth, that'd be a crowning achievement in science and biology. But like, again, how far are we going to go with this? What's going to be after the mammoth? Now, I do agree that the mammoth would be the easiest because of the elephant, right? The DNA, apparently from the studies, like again, I haven't seen them, but from what I've read, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, from what you can tell by pictures of a mammoth and an elephant, pretty goddamn similar. Pretty damn similar. So I'm sure, I was surprised that it was the Asian elephant, not the African elephant. Maybe it's because I think the African elephants were much bigger than the woolly mammoth, and the Asian elephants are smaller. So I think it's not going to be the full reason, but I think that might be one of the reasons. It's also like, if you look at a woolly mammoth and an Asian elephant, and just kind of picture it without hair, the mammoth, they do kind of look similar to that than the African elephant. African bush elephant, actually. My bad. Don't want to discriminate. Anyway, that's news. Kind of scary, kind of cool in a way, but also, I mean, perfect timing from what I was saying from last episode about cloning and all that, and playing God and Jurassic Park and Ian Malcolm. I mean, this is just insane. I guess life finds a way after all. Talking so much, my lips are dry, chapped. Oh, okay. Now to the fun part, people. Now to the fun part. Week 1 is over. What a great week, by the way. What a fucking amazing week of football. I mean, just beginning with the Cowboys and the Buccaneers in that great game to ending with the Ravens and the Raiders overtime victory over the Ravens. I mean, what an absolute great week of football. Now, before we actually get into football, the NFL football, I want to just talk real quick about my fantasy team. We lost. And you know what? When it was happening, I was very, very angry because I had Josh Jacobs, and the other guy had Darren Waller and Tyson Williams. Who the fuck is Tyson Williams? I don't even know who that was. I was like, this guy's got to be, because J.K. Dobbins is out for the year. Gus Edwards is gone for the year. They signed Latavius Murray to a contract. I was like, these guys got nobody at running back. They're going to be relying on Lamar to throw the ball, and then obviously Derek Carr has nobody else to throw to but fucking Darren Waller. So I lost because of that. I was going to win because Josh Jacobs had 2 touchdowns, shitty yards, but 2 touchdowns. But he just had to throw every time to Darren Waller, and he finally got his touchdown, and that was the nail in my coffin. I just want to say kudos to whoever beat me, the team that did beat me. Congratulations. It was a battle to the end. It was a good fight. It was not a blowout, which I was scared of. Again, I was watching that, sweating my fantasy off the entire weekend and Monday. Good first week of fantasy. For you, sir. For me, it was not that great. I am 0-1, so it's going to be very hard to get to battle back because, again, I had the last pick of the draft. But I am okay with where I am right now. I'm okay because I saw a lot of fight out of my team. A lot of fight. And I think that if I could make some draft decisions, trades, pickups, I think I could actually make a dent in this league. I think I can. But anyways, that's it for fantasy. Let's get into the real deal. The real deal. Not every game, but every notable game that I saw this Sunday. I'm going to skip a couple, but for the most part, I'm going to get all of them. For the most part. And we begin with Dak Prescott coming back and playing against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers in Tampa, the defending Super Bowl champions against America's team. Dak Prescott, ladies and gentlemen, looked absolutely unbelievable. He looked amazing. He looked like a man on a mission to resurrect his career, to say, hey, I know what everybody has been saying about me, and being Dak Prescott and being, a bust, injury-prone, not that good, can't make the right throw at the right time, has a ton of yards, but my situation with the Cowboys, being the Cowboys under Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones, and just being, a once historic franchise, being an absolute joke in the 2000s. We want to win, and we're going to be here to win. Dak looked great. Ezekiel Elliott barely did anything, which is concerning. But Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup all looked amazing. The defense of Dallas held Tom Brady to make it a close game. But ultimately, after what we saw about Dak and the Cowboys, cannot overshadow or even come close to how much of a god Tom Brady is. I mean, this man is 44 years old, and he is chucking bombs down the field to Antonio Brown still. Antonio motherfucking Brown is catching passes from Tom Brady in these situations, and Tom Brady just looked amazing. I mean, there is obviously, when he won his 7th Super Bowl last year, there was no doubt. But after watching him now, after another full year gone, still slinging it to Gronk, to Chris Godwin, to Rob Gronkowski, and winning that game in the end, giving him 1 minute and 30 seconds, hopefully for the defense of Dallas to try to hold him, but they ultimately can't. And Tom Brady seals it off with a last drive to get the winning field goal. This guy is God. This guy is the greatest of all time. There is no doubt. There is no debate. It's over. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback ever. And I said this again when he won the Super Bowl, but this is just going to clarify how good of a quarterback that he is. He is a god amongst men in this league. It is insane to watch. And it's like, when is he going to be declining? When is he going to be, start to suck? I don't know now. I don't know. Because what they're doing in Tampa suits him so well. He's got one of the better receiving cores out there, the best tight end, the good running backs, a great defense, even though they played not that great this game. But, he is set to win another Super Bowl. Now I have Green Bay in the Super Bowl for the NFC, but we'll get to them soon enough. I got a lot to say about Green Bay in this episode. Anyways, but again, the Cowboys losing to the Buccaneers, very slim margin of victory. But at the end of the day, if you are a Cowboys fan, you should be happy with your team. You should be like, oh my God, Dak is legit. Dak is here. He's arrived. And you should be, even though you lost this game, there's a lot of good stuff in this. A lot of good stuff. You battled back. Dak was there. Your receivers, the coaching, the willing to drive the ball down the field, to get into the field goal range, to tie it, to take the lead at the end. Resilience. You Cowboys fans have got to be happy because this team looks very solid. They could potentially be in the running for the Super Bowl this year. So keep an eye out on them, Cowboys fans, and America. Don't sleep on the Cowboys this year. It's going to be crazy. Next, we got the Jaguars at the Texans. Now, the Texans, of course, we know about their quarterback drama. They still have Deshaun Watson. He's been benched for obvious reasons. For one, he doesn't want to be there, and then, legal stuff. But they start Tyrod Taylor. We gotta try to. Tyrod Taylor has got to be the best average quarterback out there because he's been on so many teams, from Buffalo to Cleveland to San Diego to now Houston, maybe even a couple in between that. But man, dude, this guy made the Jacksonville Jaguars look absolutely like a high school team. They just couldn't get their defense was so bad, getting bullshit penalties, just being undisciplined and just very, very amateur-y. And I think that has a lot to do with their head coach in Urban Meyer. Listen, man, say what you want about him in college. He was good. He won 3 national championships. But in the NFL, this ain't gonna cut it, bro. What? You looked terrified out there. You looked absolutely terrified. And you did nothing, really. Trevor Lawrence had a decent game. He had 3 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions, and they were pretty bad interceptions by that, too. But this is going to be a long season, a long and painful season, I believe, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, the Texans were projected to lose this game because they're also not very good. Again, they have no Deshaun Watson. They lost J.J. Watt. They're not expected to do much. So if you're Jacksonville and if you're Urban Meyer and you're Trevor Lawrence, you got to take a long look in the mirror and be like, what are we doing here? We got to shape or sharpen up because this is not going to be good. This could be very, very bad if it continues. So keep an eye out on the Jaguars and the Texans because if scripts exist, if what's expected, happens, then neither of these teams are going to be decent. I'm just speaking bullshit. I don't even know what I just said. Keep an eye on those teams, though. Keep an eye on those teams. We'll see where they are at the end of the year. And of course, mid-year and on the way there. Now, the Cardinals versus the Titans. Kyler Murray, people. Oh, my God. This guy heard his criticisms, heard his, what people were saying last year. Keeps the ball too long, makes kind of dumb runs, throws it erratically, doesn't make the right decision at the right time. This game had some of that, but for the majority of the part of the game, he looked great. He was chucking the ball. He was making plays with his legs. He wasn't really running down the field, but just scrambling and getting open, making that throw. Dude, Kyler Murray is absolutely gonna be an offensive weapon this year, because I think that he's honing in on his running ability to not just run the ball forward, but to extend plays, to give the receivers time to get open, to try to make a miraculous play like the Hail Murray back last year. I think this is going to be a really, really, really good year for Kyler Murray, dude. And they look good. J.J. Watt was there. I'm blanking on the defensive player. Chandler is his last name, I believe, but I'm forgetting his first name. And 5 sacks on Ryan Tannehill, which is unbelievable. But to get to Ryan Tannehill, bro, we were right all along about this team. This team has no defense. They got to win by a shootout. They got to chuck the ball. But in this game, Tannehill couldn't do anything because of Chandler. I'm forgetting his damn name. I'm sorry, Chandler. But he looked bad. Derrick Henry looked okay. He couldn't really get going. It wasn't the best game for him. Very disappointing. And it just defensively, Kyler Murray destroyed them, ripped them apart. Like, the Titans really we gotta maybe chill out on the Titans a bit. The last couple years we've been riding them pretty hard and, lifting them up pretty high. I don't know about this year, man. I don't know about this. I think they haven't really developed a new scheme or worked on their game or try to be different than they have been in the last couple years. That they're still trying to do the same thing. And other teams are going to figure them out, dude. Like, it's just going to happen. Like, teams study film. Teams research. Teams look at what's been happening, what moves you're making. They're not dumb. Like, they're going to be... If you don't change your schemes or your system, it's going to be rough, dude. So I'm thinking that what's happening is that the Titans are just not adapting to a new scheme or system. So that's going to be interesting to watch the rest of the year. We'll see how it goes. I think that they will be actually kind of from decent to okay, or to kind of bad. This first game was not very ton because I expected the Cardinals to not be that good, but they were. And it really does show that how much a year, can change. Kyler Murray, the Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury, and his decisions last year. It's almost like he kind of it was a great performance. It was a great performance. Moving on, Eagles versus Falcons. Jalen Hurts looked decent. He looked more than decent, actually. Looked pretty damn good. Like, really good. Like, he was finding receivers. He was making running passes, like on the run passes. He looked sharp. He looked in control, really. And the new head coach, Nick Sirianni, I believe is his name, they looked good. They looked decent. Atlanta, though. I mean, I think we're done with Matt Ryan, people. I think we're done. I think you've peaked with Matt Ryan when he was in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. After that, he has never been the same. It's been lackluster offense. Yes, they can get down the field, but in the red zone, they are just dog shit, man. They can't break in. They had one of the worst offensive performances I've seen in the NFL in a long time. But by a team with talent, by the way. Calvin Ridley, Mike Davis, Kyle Pitts, Matt Ryan. And nothing is happening. I can't name one defensive player on the Falcons. I can't. Is that a bad thing? Probably. It's also a fact that they're not improving their defense either. They're very an offensive team. They've focused on their offense for like the past maybe 7 or 8 years. Matt Ryan, back in the day, Roddy White, Julio Jones, Tony Gonzalez. They've been a very, very offensively focused team. They kind of got it back with this year with, Matt Ryan again, of course, and Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts. But I think that Matt Ryan just is in a shell of himself. Doesn't really make the right decisions at the right time anymore. The game kind of seems fast for him, honestly. Like, it just seems like he never gets the ball away in time. And it's just like he's got a big contract. It's like, oh, how do we sit this guy? I really think that he's just lost a step in his game, bro. Like, the game just moves so fast for him now. Like, you watch him and it's like, dude, he is so behind. I think in Atlanta, they might have to move on from this guy. I don't know, like, if they want to get better, I think that they got to draft another quarterback because it's been like maybe year 2 or year 3 after the Super Bowl where this guy just performs mediocrely, like really, really mediocrely. Now, people will say, like, well, he's Matt Ryan. He went to the Super Bowl. He got the Falcons to the Super Bowl. But that was a while ago, man. We want to win now. We want to use our weapons on offense. Julio Jones just left them because he was sick and tired of them not winning. I mean, how many years can you count of Julio Jones racking up receiving yards, fucking 2, 1, 0 touchdowns? Like, it's like, per year, not per game. it's like, dude, this has gotta. They might have to, move on from Matt Ryan. It's got to be. I think that if this year doesn't get any better, if he doesn't show an improvement, he might have to. They might have to move on from him. I know he's got a contract and all that, and I know they paid him a lot of money, but shoot, they might have to eat that, because it's just they're becoming a laughing stock of a team that should be performing better offensively, and with a shitty defense, but a quarterback that just seems very incapable of making those plays, and it's sad, but I think that's what's happening. Moving on to the Steelers versus the Bills, Buffalo Bills again. A team that I had going up against the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl this year. Now, did I hype them up too much with Josh Allen? Because last year, Jesus Christ, he was amazing. And they were winning this game too. They were beating the Steelers, at the end of the first half. And they then they lost the game. Steelers came back. Ben came back. They woke up and they're like, you know what? We're still the Pittsburgh Steelers, bro. Like, we're not. It's just some team that you can just come to our place or come to, whatever. I don't even know where they were playing at. I think it was in Buffalo. We're not going to just lay over and let you beat us. Mike Tomlin's like, nah, bro, this ain't going to happen. I don't care what the fuck you are. And they came back and they beat them. Now, I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon yet about the Bills being frauds because of one performance. I mean, Josh Allen did look kind of bad, though. He looked very lost out there, disoriented. Just got rushed a lot, got out of the pocket a lot, sacked a couple times. It didn't look that good. He looked kind of bad. It looked like the Steelers really studied the Bills, and the Bills did not adapt to that. They didn't change anything up. They didn't change a system or a scheme or whatever. They just kind of did what they were doing last year, and ultimately, I think that's what got them. I mean, you can't just, it was almost like last year was Josh Allen's first year in the NFL. Remember Carson Wentz when he was in the first year in the NFL? He was lighting people up. That's because they had no tape of him, though, in the NFL. No one knew how he played. Now that you got, you have Josh Allen, a full year of Josh Allen lighting everybody up. In the previous years, he just wasn't that good. He was actually kind of bad. Now you got good Josh Allen. People are going to, a whole year of good Josh Allen. Defenses are going to study that. They're going to get into that. They're going to be on you. These teams got to know that other teams also study film. That they also know that they're going to be coming for you. And I think that's what happened. I think that's why the Bills lost. The Steelers prepared like hell for you. And at the end of the day, they beat you. Now, I'm not going to say that they're frauds yet. They could be trending that way. They have a tough schedule. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be... this Bills team is going to be fun to watch this year. Lots of potential. A lot of talent. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Sean McDermott as their head coach. A lot of talent there. Now, can they put it all together and make another run at this thing? They were close last year. They were very, very close. I had them going to the Super Bowl and winning it. And I had them going this year, too, before the season started. But we'll see how that goes. It's going to be interesting, though. I love football. We're back, baby. When the air gets a little bit crisper, and it gets crisp and nice outside. Now, it's not there completely yet, and we're in California, but it is getting darker earlier. It's football season, baby. It's football season. Anyway, next we got Browns versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs did what the Chiefs do. They never are out of the game. They're always in it. Not in the Super Bowl, but in a regular season, not against Tom Brady team game. They're in it to win it all the time. And that's what happened this game. The Browns did make adjustments. They did surprise me at how good that they were against Kansas City and how they were good on offense with Jarvis Landry, Baker Mayfield, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb. They look very, very good still. Kevin Stefanski has a very, very good team in Cleveland. They should be feared because they are very, very good. And I think that they could go pretty far this year. I think that they could beat the Steelers to win their division. I think that they can. But, it's a long season. It's very, very long. But I like what they do. They do it very well. But the Chiefs they know how to battle back, man. They know how to get the ball back and make the big plays to beat, teams that are up and have the lead, coming back and doing it, closing out games. They're very, very good at that, man. And they should still be considered the best team overall. I think in Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and the best tight end in the league, Travis Kelce. I mean, that dude is a monster. He might be better than Darren Waller, or he might not be better, like, athletic-wise than Darren Waller, but the dude just finds spaces and can make space, and he catches everything, man. He catches everything. And he's a force of nature out there. You can tell that he's feared. He's just a great tight end, man. And pair that with Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, you have a high-flying offense. High-flying. And the throws that Mahomes was making, sidearm, across the body, deep bombs, he can do it all. With Andy Reid at the helm, they might be back, man. They might be in the Super Bowl again. They might be. Well, we'll see. Seattle Seahawks versus the Indianapolis Colts. Russell Wilson is still one of the best QBs of the NFL. He proved that this game. 3 touchdowns, a bomb, absolute bomb to Tyler Lockett. DK Metcalf showed up. And then the Colts just looked meh. All that build-up and all that hype with getting Carson Wentz back with Frank Reich. He's going to be great there. Listen, I know it's just one game, but it didn't look that convincing. Carson didn't look all that right to me. Yeah, he played pretty well, but it didn't look like it was 100% there yet. And I know that it shouldn't be expected. It's a new coaching quarterback pair-up for the first season. But, he also came back from an injury that was very unexpected. Foot injury, those could take for a while to heal. But he came back at the beginning of the season, which was ultimately what the Colts wanted. But lackluster. But it was also, again, reminding people that the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll are still very, very good. Really, really good. And you shouldn't sleep on them because that's like the worst thing that you can do. I know that the past couple years they haven't been the greatest. They kind of fizzed away at the end of the seasons. But, it's a new year. I always have to kind of put those years away, back in the back of my head, and not remember them so much because, again, it is a new year, a new season, a new start, and they look very good. Packers versus Saints. What a storyline of a game this was. Everybody knows the drama with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, how they treated their veteran players, how they let people go. He explained all of this. You can go find it on YouTube of how he basically lit up the organization about like the players and all that, their decisions. And then you get Jameis Winston coming back, replacing the legendary Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. The Saints hosting a home game in Jacksonville because, of course, Hurricane Ida. Godspeed to all those people that suffered through that. Rest in peace, all the people that passed through that, and the destruction that happened after that, essentially that ran up the state of New York and all that. Anybody who was affected by the Hurricane Ida, my heart is with you. Anyway, so now they're playing in Jacksonville, and I'm thinking, like, this is going to be either a blowout for the Saints because Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers, hopefully, or the Saints make it interesting. And they make it tight and close. Ladies and gentlemen, this was not at all what I expected out of the Saints, man. Nothing, not at all. Because I know that Jameis Winston is talented. I know that he is athletic. He has a rocket arm. He can make every throw that you would ask for an NFL quarterback. I understand that. But however, the accuracy in his past games has just not been there. Interceptions, he had like 33 touchdowns, 30 interceptions last season that he started with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It wasn't that good. It was pretty bad, actually. When you throw 30 interceptions, that is just a glaring stat that nobody can just not address. People, this last game against the Packers, my boy Jameis had he had 5 touchdowns and no picks. And he threw for like 140-something yards. Like something so absolutely not 148 yards, 5 touchdowns, 14 completions, 14 out of 20 completions. I mean, like, this guy just, it's like a new Jameis. He's efficient. He was running too. He had like one would have been a pick, but it was called back because of a penalty. But like, he looked great. He looked like he belonged there. He was airing out the deep ball at the end, something that the Saints haven't had in maybe 2 years with Drew Brees, because, obviously he was getting older, injuries and all that just piles up. Jameis is younger, athletic, strong. Again, that rocket arm, it was incredible, man. I mean, I was jumping for joy when he was scoring or passing touchdown passes, because that dude deserves it. Because for one, he failed out of Tampa Bay, went to New Orleans, took a year behind Drew Brees, was mentored, was learning and all that, and that seems to have run off on Jameis, because he just performed so well and so good. And in that process, the Packers looked absolutely atrocious. So bad. Defensively, they could not get off the field. They couldn't stop Jameis or Alvin Kamara. It was pretty astounding of how much the Saints were better than the Packers, and how bad Aaron Rodgers was. I mean, he was just making bad throws. Not Aaron Rodgers-like throws. You would see like he would just throw with behind the receivers, way over the top of receivers, interceptions. Like, there's just one blatantly interception. He just throws way over the receiver's head and just right into the basket of the defender. I was like, oh my God, what is happening here? And people are saying like, is it because he missed OTAs? He missed minicamp? I don't think so, man. Because he was still there at training camp. And there was a lot of other quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford, Derek Carr, Russell Wilson that didn't play a lick of preseason, and they all won their games, and they weren't as bad. So I'm thinking like, it's got to be that drama with the front office and the organization. It's just got to be. Now, of course, he's not going to say, yeah, that's why I sucked, or yeah, that's why my head's in somewhere else, or whatever. I don't know why he was that bad. Maybe it could have been something else. I've heard he's trying to take down the organization to make them suck because of what they did to him. I don't believe that for an instant, but that could be something funny to run with. But they look terrible. The Saints look great. Jameis is rolling. The Packers clearly have some kind of dysfunction that they got to sort out, whether it be with the players or the front office or what have you. They just got to get that settled down, because they still have a lot of talent. Robert Tonyan, Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, of course. They have a lot of talent. They just got to get on the same page together. And whoever's fault it is, it could be Rodgers's. They just got to work it out, man. They got to be better. And also, it's really bad when you have people like Matt LaFleur, who does a press conference where he says one thing, and then you have Aaron Rodgers say another thing. Like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said, like, I think LaFleur said on the lines of, we should be embarrassed. That wasn't us. We need to be better. And I think Rodgers said, like, we tried our best out there. The guys gave it their all, and we just lost. So I'm paraphrasing a lot there, but they did have very different reasons of why they lost that game. So The dysfunction must continue, must be continuing, must be ongoing still. This is going to be interesting. The Packers are going to be either we like that they lose because of the dysfunction, because we want to root for somebody to lose, because we're fucking sick in the head as football fans, or they miraculously turn it around and come back and win something. I don't know what can happen, but either way, I'm here for it. Football is back, people. Now to the Sunday night game, Bears versus the Rams. Matthew Stafford looked absolutely incredible. It's like, I just made up this analogy when I saw it. The Matthew Stafford with the Rams offense is like Ken Miles in a Shelby-made car. If you haven't seen Ford versus Ferrari or know about that story, maybe that might make more sense. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'm wrong on something. But Matthew Stafford in that Rams offense was absolutely incredible. I mean, the first throw he made, or first couple throws, he just drops a bomb to Van. What's his name? I forgot. The receiver. I forgot his name. I'm a fan too. His name is Van something. I'm forgetting it though. But he dropped a bomb to the receiver. It was incredible. Cooper Kupp got a touchdown. It was incredible. He just looked so alive and so threatening that he was on a good team. That he was having fun. He was dancing. The defense did their best. Did also very well holding the Bears to, I think it was 14 points. But they did well too. But the offense of the Rams, man, they look great with all their the people that they got, acquisitions. I was gonna say something else. But they look great. I'm happy. As a Rams fan, I was cheering. I was yelling. I was screaming. I was like, bro, Stafford is the king, man. He is the guy. Sean McVay has finally got a quarterback, a natural gunslinger in Matthew Stafford, that they can go pretty far now, I think. Again, the defense making plays. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey looking good. I'm excited. Meanwhile, the Bears look like they want... they would rather lose with Andy Dalton than potentially win with Justin Fields. That's what I'm getting at. Look, I was not expecting Justin Fields to get one single snap in this game. He got a snap pretty early. He actually threw the ball. And I was like, whoa, Justin Fields is out here. Are they trying to win? Because you watch the game, right? Andy Dalton's doing the bare minimum. He's doing he's making short passes, dump offs, and it just doesn't look that good. It looks like Andy Dalton very much. He just isn't what he used to be. He looked like, if you watch the Cowboys games with him last year, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get more. You're not gonna get some new, rejuvenated, revamped Andy Dalton. You're gonna get Andy Dalton of what he is now. He's not getting any younger. I mean, you gotta admit though, with his red hair or orange hair, and with the Bears colors of blue and orange, it's a great fit. It's a great fit. I'll give him that. But dude, you got to put in Justin Fields, man. I mean, Justin Fields, he scored a touchdown, and he ran in a touchdown, right? He scored a touchdown for the Bears, and you also give him plays like handing off the ball, doing these shovel passes to another thing, doing trick plays. It's almost like it's an absolute disgrace to Justin Fields' ability and talent. It's just obscene. I was actually kind of slightly offended of what they were doing to Justin Fields. I'm like, dude, there's a lot of people in Chicago, if not everybody in Chicago, that actually wants Justin Fields to start for them. But they're putting in Dalton. Because, for one, I think they just want to see them lose. Also, I remember back when they signed Dalton, they put in, the Bears' Twitter put QB1. They tweeted that. And then they draft Justin Fields and oh, well, we already tweeted Andy Dalton's going to be QB1. We got to stick with that. Sorry, Justin Fields, but we tweeted that, so maybe next year, That just seems like that's probably not the reason. I'll be honest with you. But if that has any inclination of why that is, that's so stupid. And just, again, making that statement back when they picked him up. QB1, Andy Dalton. Oh, great, cool. Who did we get? Andy Dalton. Ah, shit. Who we draft? Justin Fields. Well, it's obvious, right? Who we're going to start? Yeah, they're going to start Andy Dalton, man. Why? It's like, nobody wants that. Nobody needs that. Andy Dalton, dude. You were good in Cincinnati when he made the playoffs and didn't win any playoff games with Marvin Jones and A.J. Green. You were good back then. Now you're not. You're not good enough to be an NFL quarterback that gives a team a potential to win a football game. You're not. Now, I'm not saying that Justin Fields is yet, but it sure as hell, he has more of a chance of growing into that than Andy Dalton does. Just by the sheer growth progression that an NFL team should be providing a rookie quarterback. Now, are they trying to save him? Are they afraid that he's going to mess it up? Are they afraid that they're going to make he could potentially ruin his career if he starts? I don't know. But I think it's still going to be a better option than Andy Dalton, who, again, if I look up his stats right now, Andy Dalton in that one game, let's just see. Andy Dalton was 27 for 38, 206 yards, and 1 interception. Justin Fields was 2 for 2 for 10 yards, and he ran in a touchdown. So, I think, and it's also the Rams, which are one of the better teams in the NFL. You've already seen how Andy Dalton's going to compete against good competition. And also, this is just embarrassing to see how you are an NFL team doing this shit. It just seems you're not very threatening. You don't present a force. Besides David Montgomery and the small glimpses of Justin Fields, Andy Dalton's your best player? He's your QB1? I think you need to sit down with everybody in that organization and make a right decision. Make the decision that the fans and the people want. NFL fans want to see Justin Fields, people. I want to see Justin Fields because I miss the Chicago Bears being good. The league is always better when you have the Packers and the Bears competing for that division. Because that is bread and butter football, man. That is bread and butter American football. When you have those teams competing and actually, in the hunt and competitive, oh boy, it's good. That's some good shit right there. That's what I enjoy watching. Those are the games when it's really fall and really getting cold. You want to see those games. I'm not even a fan of either team, but you gotta get that because that's a classic game, classic rivalry. When they're both firing on all cylinders, that's gonna be that's a good game. That's good. Now we move on to the what is it? The Monday night game. Oh, no, before I get to that game, a couple of honorable mentions that I forgot. I didn't really cover in this. I'm sorry. But for Vikings and Bengals fans, I did see the game. I watched it. I think that Kirk Cousins is just not the guy. He just is not the guy. He's not good. He does the bare minimum. He's average at best, and he has not improved since that playoff appearance. It wasn't even him. It was Case Keenum anyway. He just hasn't looked the part. I think that is actually making the head coach Mike Zimmer let himself go a bit. And this is kind of a joke, but it's not a joke really. The guy kind of got a little bit of a beer gut there. Maybe is this job with Kirk Cousins being too much? Is it too big? Is it this guy is not getting any better? I got to drink some more. What is going on? Because he's gained some weight. We need to have some actual concern about Mike Zimmer because this is not good. Again, and Joe Burrow looked pretty good. He looked like he wanted to be there, and he looked confident behind that center, behind the line. He looked actually cunning, had like this killer instinct, something that Kirk Cousins just doesn't have. And those are just some honorable mentions, but I think that the Vikings, like the Falcons, need to move on from their quarterbacks. I just think that you live long enough to become the villain. That's what's happened. He was the hero for a bit, but he's there too long. It's like, you're not doing anything anymore, bro. You haven't done much for a couple years now, and it's like, the clock is ticking. We always go from this year. They always have that same path. Every year they're like they're going to be a contender. They're for real. They got good talent, but they always just are so average that it's just, who cares anymore? Why are you doing this? Why you're wasting everybody's time? It's time to move on. And now for the Monday night game, the Ravens versus the Raiders in the new Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. By the way, a lot of people were saying Oakland on the broadcast. I'm looking at you, Peyton Manning. A great game. Overtime, tied game, back-to-back. Defenses were all that great. The offenses were also not all that great for the most part. You can pick and choose of, like, they have good spurts of offense, but also pretty mediocre spurts of offense. Both teams, really. But we see Derek Carr out-dueling Lamar Jackson in an overtime thriller. Could it be the game of the year because of the circumstances, just the back and forth, and what happened during that game, who was calling that game, the people on the field. It was truly a spectacle of Monday night. It's got to be one of the better Monday Night Football games I've seen in the past couple years. Because usually, when it comes to those primetime games, whether it be on Thursday, Sunday night, or Monday night, they're usually not the greatest. I don't know why it is, but that just seems to happen. And for the most part, a lot of parts, it's always on Monday night, where it should be very good. But this was a good game. Great game to see. Great game to see the fans back in Vegas. Man, that stadium was packed. That stadium looks amazing packed. It's a great stadium in general, but like with the fans there, it was amazing to see. Again, overtime, and I gotta say, dude, I mean, I don't think that Derek Carr is the greatest quarterback ever, nor is he elite in my opinion, but he played a very good game this game. Yes, he did throw a pick, which was kind of like a freak pick, a freak accident kind of pick. It went through somebody's hands, bumped off a helmet, went up in the air, and somebody else on the Ravens caught it. That's just bad luck. I mean, that's just you. There's nobody to blame there but the Lord himself. That shouldn't even happen, but it does. Lamar Jackson looked good. He looked like he got a little bit more of the passing done. He had a great running touchdown that he threw, just a dime in the back of the end zone. That was a great touchdown. He looked very good, but he did fumble at the end, which lost the game for the Ravens. And at the very end, Derek Carr just floats a touchdown to Darius Slay, I believe his name is, or oh shoot, I'm forgetting his name. Goddamn. I believe that's his name, Darius Slay, and during the play, the defender just gave up. That was so bizarre. I was like, what is happening here? Catch him. Try to get the ball. But, yeah, good game. Entertaining. To the end of the overtime, basically. Back and forth. John Gruden looked like he wanted to die half of that game because he always kind of does, but that game in particular was like, just kill me now, God. Kill me now. And then we'll talk about closing up the football segment is the Manning Bros broadcast. Now, when I heard that on ESPN2 you'd be able to watch Peyton and Eli Manning commentate on the Monday night game, I was like, goodbye, Steve Levy. Goodbye, Louis Riddick. Goodbye, Greasy. I forgot his first name. Goddamn. But goodbye, ESPN, ABC commentators. Hello, Peyton and Eli, because I've wanted to see Peyton Manning in a broadcast booth since he retired. It has been like 6 or 5 years since he's retired, and he has not made one appearance in a booth. Now, that could be because he loves football a lot, but he doesn't want to be a part of a broadcast team, which I get. That's a lot of preparation, a lot of hard work that's got to go into it, a lot of traveling, a lot of studying other teams and other people's film. He probably just doesn't want to do that. He probably just wants to sit back and watch football like the rest of us. He probably just wants to be like my stupid ass and be like, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that, or, obviously with a more intellectual, opinion and a more, more in the lines of I know what I'm talking about, perspective. But I was just, maybe he just did not want to do what Tony Romo does or what anybody else does in their, once they retire. Maybe he just was like, I'll do my offshoot show, Peyton's Places. I'll have some fun. I'll travel. I'll have some good food, and then I'll have my time off. But I don't want to be so consumed with other teams and all that. But again, I've been clamoring for that. He probably doesn't want to do that, and I respect that decision of him not doing it. But if you're gonna have Peyton Manning and Eli Manning commentate on a game, I'm in. I'm just in. Because those guys are characters. They're in commercials. They have shows. They have funny, interesting personalities. The fact that they're brothers too was like, dude, I'm all in. This is gonna be so much fun. I do wish, though, that they were in the same room together on the same couch, because the delay between the Zoom calls or whatever that they did was just so much that it was just like he's trying to talk, but he's not done talking yet. The classic Zoom meeting dilemmas. You all know that. And it's just annoying, and it was like, it'd be so much better if they were together. But again, maybe they don't want to travel. Maybe they're in different parts of the country. They're like, I don't want to go there to do this. You paid me enough to do this. I don't know if that's like how it all went down. But I would imagine it's like, I don't want to travel, really. I don't want to travel. So they did it. It was through Zoom. They had Charles Barkley on. They had Ray Lewis. They had Travis Kelce. They had Russell Wilson come in for each quarter of the game to kind of like be a side commentator, and talk about the game, talk about different situations, talk about different scenarios, tell some stories. It was fun. It was really good. I did have some problems with it, though. Like at the very beginning, they had my boy Peyton Manning doing way too much work for what he was doing, for the time and what we were actually there to watch. We're there to watch a football game and see you commentate on it, right? I don't want to have little segments of you putting on helmets or putting on visors or putting on microphones, pretending you're a coach or a player, and then going to a whiteboard and trying to, break down a play with your brother on Zoom while I'm trying to watch a game. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what happened. It was it was choppy, it was shaky, it was a bit awkward at some points because Peyton's trying to describe a play on a whiteboard, by the way. He's got to get up and go to a whiteboard and do all that within the spaces of a timeout in a game. Not a 2-minute, but like a 40-second timeout where there's no commercials. And it seemed like, oh, this is a lot of work for him. This is like more work than Steve Levy does. This is too much. And I was thinking like, this is not going to work. And then they bailed on that after that. At one commercial went by, they quit doing that. They're just like, okay, just sit on the couch and just talk with your brother about the game. I was like, okay, yeah, I could watch this. I can watch this every week. Just do this. Don't do anything that you did last week with the whiteboard and cosplaying and shit, helmets and visors. I don't need that. That's fine. You don't gotta do that. But yeah, it was good. It was fun. Again, dude, those guys, the brothers are they're characters. They belong on. If you've seen some of the commercials with Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, they're really good, man. They could kind of act. Like, not like good, but funny, comedic, awkward. Like, they're not terrible. I tweeted out, like, you got to get Eli Manning in movies because this guy has something there. He's funny. He knows, like people are watching him. He kind of turns on this, like, I'm Eli Manning, and, I thought we could do this, Peyton. Like, I don't know, man. I gravitate towards those guys and just their brotherly love and all that. Again, it would have been better if they were in the same room because I could easily see them shoving each other or making fun of each other even more. Like, dude, Eli Manning was roasting his big brother, man. He was roasting Peyton. Like, I was just like, bro, like, that's like, I do that to my younger brothers. They don't do that to me all that much, but like, you got that connection. It's like, bro, like that is so funny. This is hilarious. And they're slotted to do 9 more games on Monday night, I believe on ESPN Plus. But you can count me in that I'm going to watch all of those. But yeah, good week, great week of football, fun week. We covered a lot today. Met Gala, Hawkeye, selfies, Battlefield, Mammoths, the week 1 in football. We did a lot today, people. Long show today. But I want to thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for watching. As my voice dies out. Let me get a swig of water first. As you may know, this podcast is found on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify and on YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. You can find it there. You can rate it. You can review it. You can leave a comment. You can subscribe. You can do all the above and even more. Interact, pitch ideas, suggestions, criticism. You can do all that in that form of that. I'm all for it. I want to hear what you think. Hopefully you guys still like the new release date on Thursday mornings. I hope that isn't such a big change. I don't think it will be, but time will tell, I guess. But I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching again. Good show today. Good show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next week.